Hello and welcome to this week's podcast. This week we're talking about self-image. Do you ever look at yourself and wonder, why me? Or do you ever look at things and think how difficult they are and think you can never catch a break? I can tell you that all the results you get and all the experiences you have are all undeniably linked to your self-image. When you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see a person with great wealth, great success? Or do you see a person who is struggling and surrounded by poverty? Look, I agree that these are pretty extreme examples, but the message is loud and clear. If you see yourself as a person of lack and limitation, that is what will be attracted into your life. Just as if you see yourself as a prosperous and successful person, that will also be attracted into your life. Whatever thought you choose to hold in your subconscious mind will ultimately become your reality. And if that doesn't scare you, then nothing will. So, how do we create a self-image that will support our hopes, our dreams and our aspirations? Well, you have to first believe that you deserve the outcome that you desire. You see, many people know what they want, but they don't feel worthy of going after such a worthy goal, let alone actually having it. And so the first thing we need to do is recognise where we're at right now in terms of self-worth, self-esteem and our overall self-image. And the easiest way to determine what that is simply to take a look around you. The results you have created will be a very clear indication of where your mind is at right now and how you really feel about yourself. And if it's about struggling with debt and money, take a look at your bank account and your finances and you will soon see very clearly what you think about yourself. And if you're overweight and struggling to get your weight down, it's not because you're eating too much, although that does contribute to it, but rather it's about what you really believe inside of you and how you think about yourself. And look, I do appreciate that there are medical circumstances that contribute to this condition, but I will not allow you to use those situations or circumstances as an excuse. If you're not happy with the results you're getting, if you're not happy with the way your life is going, if you're not happy with your finances, your weight or your relationships, simply find a mirror and take a good hard look at yourself, because you have the ability to have, do and be anything you want. You just have to make a decision to change and act on that. So how do we make that change, and how do we start to see ourselves as the person that we'd really like to be? Well, it's a great question, and whilst the answer is complex, the process is not. See, when you look at the psychology of the mind and how we manage and manipulate it to suit us and serve us, we will quickly realise that we've been the true masters of our destiny all along, because we do choose our thoughts and we do interpret things through our personal filters, perceptions and experiences. And when you realise that you have in fact created all that you are and all that you will have simply by holding true to your thoughts, the habits or the behaviours that are embedded in your subconscious mind, you will also understand that if you change those thoughts, then your results will also change. See, for example, if you're a cleaner, and I can assure you I was one for quite a while, do you think it's reasonable to expect that you should own or drive a Ferrari? Of course not. And the reason is not because you can't have it, but rather because it's deemed unreasonable, and it's because you're operating on such a low level of vibration that to even get close to owning a Ferrari as a cleaner would require a quantum leap and a massive shift in your mindset that simply would no longer allow you to be a cleaner. That's the paradox, that's the irony of it. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being a cleaner. Like I did it, Bob Proctor did it, and many others do it. And in fact, I made a small fortune out of doing the cleaning, but when your mind allows you to operate and exist at that level of vibration, you can never aspire to anything more than what you already have. So in order to change the level of vibration we're on to something that will get us the Ferrari, if you like, we need to reset our mind and our conscious awareness, and we need to alter our thinking so that we can create new habits, which in turn will create new behaviours and ultimately new results that will be consistent with the heartfelt desire that we really have. But where do we begin? Okay, well, we begin by first accepting that what we are and who we are has been something of our own choosing. No one else made you feel this way. No one else can make you feel any other way than the way you choose right now. If you are sad or happy, rich or poor, fat or thin, successful or unsuccessful, then these are all the results that you have attracted to yourself and ultimately manifested through the process of thought or thinking. Once you have this awareness in place, you have an advantage over the average person. That's the good part about it, because to capture this awareness, you had to raise your level of expectation in order to be able to contrast the results you're getting now with the results that you really want, and also to identify with the things that you don't want in life, which takes us to the very next step. And that very next step is to identify the things that you really do want in your life. In other words, you now know what has to change, but what do you really want to change it to? In other words, if you're going to not be happy with what you got, you've got to be very clear on what you're moving toward, or what you're really wanting to accumulate and attract into your life from this point forward. So start creating a whole bunch of wonderful creative concepts about the things that you do really want, the life you want to live, the car you want to drive, and the money you want to have, the relationship you want to be in. But don't stop there, because you can also identify the type of true relationship you want to have, and the job you want to have, the career you want to have, and all the other things that you most desire. Because the hobbies and the lifestyle and all these things that fill your heart with joy and happiness are what you ultimately want to achieve, because they would be lacking now. Imagine what it would be like just to get your time back. Just to get your time back. Imagine if you were living the dream lifestyle that once you'd only ever dreamed about. Imagine that all of your dreams had come true. How would that make you feel? Think about it for a moment. How would it really make you feel if you had achieved all your dreams, all your desires, and all your aspirations? Wow, wouldn't it be amazing? Well, in order to have these things, you just need to believe that it's possible, and you need to start programming your mind with new ideas, new concepts, new considerations, new dreams. And as you continue to hold those positive and empowering thoughts in your mind, a change will begin to take place. And over time, these conscious thoughts that you're having will actually reprogram your subconscious mind, and the new thoughts will quietly and convincingly embed themselves into your subconscious mind, rendering themselves as your new mental programming or mental conditioning or habits and behavior, if you like. And when you subject your mind to the process of a default, it will change the way you think, change the way you believe what's possible, and it will alter your behavior in such a way that the level of vibration you once operated on will be very quickly redundant. And the new changes, the new thinking that were completely and totally replacing the old thinking, will cause you to believe in new possibilities and push your personal level of vibration way up the scale of possibility, so that when you think about the things you want, the mind starts to believe that it really is possible to have them. Look, it's now up to you to maintain your new thought process and to further develop your thinking so that it supports everything you hope to achieve. And this is what our personal growth and transformation program, Thinking into Results, does. It does it by assisting you through the life-altering process, resetting your habits, breaking the process, and guiding you and leading you through the entire process step by step, whilst acting as your accountability partner to ensure that you do achieve your desired outcomes or your goals. Once your mind is reset, you'll never want to go back to where you came from, and the past accomplishments will act as your lesson, as your experience, and as your reference of where you came from and what you achieved or didn't achieve, more to the point, and just how far you have come just by resetting your thinking, your thought, your mindset, and ultimately your mind. And to paraphrase the immortalized words of Napoleon Hill, whatever the mind can conceive and believe will ultimately be achieved. I'm Christopher Shaw, and I'm wishing you continued success.